How do I not fall for other people when I'm in a relationship? I love this question so much. It's very practical. Because we live in a world where people are very unrealistic. Like to be like, how can you say you're in love with a guy? How can you say you're in love with a girl and you're looking at somebody else? Like, let's be real. It happens. Like, I know in the last question, I talked about the concept of spec. If you have a spec, for instance, and you have found someone that's your spec and you are dating them, if you see someone that's your spec, you can't unsee them. Like, you are going to keep seeing them. So, and if you're in constant interaction, you might begin to develop affection for them as well. But the fact that this is normal does not mean it should continue. So, first, you need to make peace with the fact that it is not absurd, it is not unusual that you are still finding yourself looking and kind of developing affection for someone, although you are still in a relationship. However, there are two things that are coming to mind now that you need to do. Number one is to make peace with the fact that you have to take your eyes away. They will not stop coming, but you have to take your eyes away. The thing about affection is that it doesn't just jump on people. Yes, it is very popular that people say you don't control when you fall in love, you just fall in love, but it's not true. You can control when you fall in love. Most times we fall in love when we are in constant interaction or constantly thinking about the person. So if you are not thinking about the person constantly, and if you are not talking to them constantly, if you are not stalking them on Instagram, because social media is there again, it is not possible for you to fall in love with them. So if you now want to take your eyes and say, okay, now I'm in a relationship and I don't want to develop any affection for this other person. One thing you must do is to cut interaction, reduce interaction with them to the barest minimum as possible. Don't hang around them in your vulnerable moments. Don't just share. I just say I should check up on you. Like, you know that there's something at stake, so you have to take hard decisions at this point. It's going to be difficult, though, but it's something that is necessary to do. Now, one mindset shift that's going to make this easier for you is to understand that if you fall for this, you are going to lose on two sides. The thing we don't understand many times when we try to juggle both is that you feel that I can enjoy here and enjoy here. But what ends up happening many times is that you are going to lose on both sides. So, in your bid to try to get two experiences of pleasure, you end up getting zero experience of pleasure. Because this new person that you are falling for, if they know that you're in a relationship, so you're already showing them your character that if I'm dating somebody, I can still be seeing somebody else. So if in and this other okay, before that, this person has seen your character, and this other person that you are with, if they find out, they're going to leave you. So if in case this person finds out and they leave you and you move to this other person will be like, you left me for someone else. You left someone else for me. You can also leave someone else for me. And they will not hold you in any high esteem. So at most, what allowing yourself, because you are the one in control, what allowing yourself to fall for this other person is going to do is that it's going to make you lose on both sides. Let's even assume that this person you are with does not find out that you are going to see someone else and all of that is going to happen. Even deep within you, that mental energy, all the stress of trying to juggle both of them, at one point or the other, something is just going to go wrong and it's not going to go well. You don't, your life does not get richer when you are dating two people. Your life does not get richer when you are juggling, you're sharing your attention between two people. It is always going to come with more disadvantage than advantages. Having this understanding now that it's not a win-win game, it is a losing game, it will help you to be able to make that decision that if I really like this my spec that I'm seeing in these two people, the only way I can end up ensuring that I even get one of them is to stick to one of them. If I try to balance between both of them, I will end up getting nothing. Are you getting that mindset shift? You have to come to this awareness so that affection will grow if you continue to feed it with constant communication or spending your time thinking about them. But if you cut away these two things, the affection with the other person is going to die, and make it very clear that see, nothing can happen between us, and we are not going to even be entertaining ourselves with unnecessary conversations, and it will make it easier for you to just stick with this person that you are with. Another thing that can help is that with your current relationship, try to ensure that you don't pile up offenses. If there are issues rising, try to solve them. If there are issues rising, solve them. If there are issues rising, solve them. All your communication issues, make sure that they are in good. All your communication issues, make sure that you settle them and both of you are in good terms. Because if there is so much friction between you and your current partner and you are not solving issues, you keep on piling offenses, then you are making yourself more vulnerable to fall into the hands of that other person and begin to see that, compare that person and say this person is better than the person I am, and that friction will begin to grow, and all of a sudden you find yourself double dating, something you never planned to do. So this is also something that can help.